You want to buy new glasses. So you log into Amazon. You found a pair, and right there, located in the center of the page, is the Buy Now option. No credit card, no address. Very easy and quick. You picked what you wanted, and you saved time, right? Well, not really. This one-click checkout isn't convenience. It's a trap. Companies like Amazon have spent many years developing and reverse engineering this one-click checkout to maximize spending and sales. And historically, retailers have always found a way to get us to spend more. This button is just the latest way of doing it. So to understand how these traps actually work, we have to look at how they manipulate our basic human instincts to their advantage. Usually, when we decide, our brains work in two opposing ways. One way is slow, the other way is fast. Daniel Kahneman famously terms this in his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, System 1 and System 2. System 1 makes instant decisions based on instincts and biases, like reading a billboard or driving on an empty road. System 2 takes its time making decisions and allocates mental energy to a task, like looking for a specific person in a crowd or comparing two products to see which offers a better value. Of course, this applies to shopping and retail. And retailers have figured this out and started using this to their advantage. To better visualize this, let's use the term friction. Friction is any roadblock that forces you to pause and think. Retailers manipulate friction. They dial it up and turn it down to bypass your slow mind and get you to spend more time using your fast brain. Let's see what happens when they dial the friction all the way up. This is your traditional grocery store use case. You know, the typical milk in the back of the supermarket trick. The idea was originated by Clarence Sanders in the year 1916. He had the idea to design a grocery store layout that forces you to navigate a complicated maze to reach your target. In this setup, friction is intentionally high. You are far from your target. At first, your slow mind is in control. You resist the chips aisle, then you resist the chocolate aisle. But by the time you reach the beer section, your slow brain is starting to get tired and your fast brain takes over. You start making impulsive purchase without thinking. All of a sudden, you're adding chocolate at the checkout counter. Friction, in this case, makes you impulsively buy things you never planned on. It's a classic strategy replicated by IKEA, Costco, and other retailers. But eventually, we figured this out. Now we have shopping lists. We skip the middle aisle and go straight to our target. We outsmarted the physical maze. But then the digital age came, and that was a whole new ballgame. In the digital world, the maze strategy doesn't work. You can't increase the friction because the moment the client feels trapped, he doesn't wander around browsing. He just closes the tab. For years, digital sales stagnated. People were impatient and they kept leaving their digital shopping carts empty because the checkout process was so tedious. To survive online, retailers understood that they had to flip the script completely. That's where Amazon came in with their one-click checkout design. This is how it worked. When a new customer created an Amazon account, he or she would load all their information, credit card, billing address, etc. Amazon would then store the data onto its servers and drop a unique client identifier, basically a client profile, so that when the returning user clicks the Buy Now button, the server identifies the profile and pulls the pre-saved data, saving time and effort. It was brilliant. Amazon online sale skyrocketed. It was so revolutionary that Amazon filed a patent to prevent any other e-commerce company from using this system. What followed was years of lawsuit, corporate politics, and stories that are so wild that they deserve another video altogether. But I have to tell you about one story which I couldn't leave out. So Apple at that time was about to launch iTunes Music. Steve Jobs immediately figured out that the one-click solution is the only way to launch iTunes successfully. And because he couldn't develop it natively because of the patent, he had to suck it up, call Jeff Bezos, and pay a huge licensing fee to apply the one-click to iTunes. Steve Jobs, the man who wanted to build everything from scratch, had to break his own rules because he understood how powerful this patent was. For the next 2 decades, Amazon had a monopoly on the one-click, and while other retailers were legally forced to make you click through 3 different pages to buy something, Amazon allowed you to buy instantly. You could argue that the one-click patent basically made Amazon the global giant it is today. Eventually, when the patent ended in 2017, almost every other e-commerce business applied this system, and the data backs it up. Studies show that every single step a store removes from a checkout screen increases sales by 10 to 30%. So let's go back to our friction meter. What's actually happening here? The one-click patent turns the friction all the way down. Retailers dialed down the friction completely, so much so that your slow brain doesn't have the time to process or pause. Your fast brain has automatically made the decision. Today we have convenience everywhere through online shopping, Uber Eats, one-click grocery, or even self-checkout. Everything is optimized to give us what we want the exact second we want it. This is the real trap. We think we're saving time, but this endless convenience comes with a massive hidden cost. When you eliminate the pause, you also eliminate the time required to think. But it's not all doom and gloom. Just as we figured out the old grocery store trick, we have figured out this one-click trap. Common financial advice that you see now is to not save your information online, to manually add your details before you do a purchase, because we realize that pausing is a superpower and a way to escape the trap that these giant corporations lay on us. So I'm curious to know what you think about this phenomenon. Leave a comment. Is this an exaggerated theory, or do you encounter this in your life? And what do you do about it? If you enjoyed this breakdown on how we make decisions and how companies exploit it, I made another video about how events like the World Cup capture our attention and what's really going on there. As always, thanks for watching.